Couple days ago, I told you that I'm a quitter and I encourage you to do the same. So today I want to share how I quit without feeling bad about it. Welcome back. I'm Adrienne. Today is day 20 of me posting every day for 30 days to kick off my content creator adventure in my 40s. But y'all, today's day 20, but I missed day 19. I missed my video yesterday. I wasn't feeling well. I was tired and I almost felt bad about it and started to beat myself up. But then I remembered that I intentionally structured this commitment with wiggle room for these types of situations. In the past, I've felt bad or have been made to feel bad by others for not sticking to things, and sometimes I really just didn't stick to them. Um, but when I've made commitments to myself and others and not follow through, like it diminishes the trust with others and also with your self-trust. And I've let that lack of self-trust stop me from doing things because I'm afraid that I won't follow through. And this has made me feel like I lack discipline, but I realize that I'm actually very disciplined, and it's more about figuring out what discipline looks like for me, mainly in terms of capacity. And it's going to look different for everybody. So, as I mentioned, I am now letting myself quit. Um, there are things that do pique my interest, and then I give them a try, and I either realize like I don't like them as much as I thought, or it's not exactly what I thought. And time is my most valuable asset, and I'm not going to sit around spending it doing things that I don't like to the best of my ability. But I do try to give things a chance before quitting. There is a method to the madness I'm finding, and I don't have it perfect, but I'm getting better. And it really comes down to being more intentional when you're making commitments. And that's again to yourself or to others. Like for starters, I no longer say yes to things that I don't want to do. Of course, there's some things that can't be avoided. But for the most part, if I'm not feeling it, I say no. I'm not, and usually I feel that when it comes up. Now, on the other end, there's lots of things that get me excited and I want to just jump and say yes, but now I've stopped so that I can take a little time to consider my capacity in terms of my current commitments. Like how my time is being used, my energy, especially my energetic capacity. I've shared with you all that I am in the process of structuring my life around my energy levels based on where I am in my menstrual cycle. And that has really started to play a big part in my commitments because I might be in my ovulation phase when I have all the energy, I'm feeling super sociable, I feel invincible, when I'm in my ovulation phase and something that excites me, I want to say yes. I want to say yes to everything. But now I have to stop and consider, during this commitment or at the time of this commitment, where will I be in my menstrual cycle? What is my energy going to be like? Am I going to have the same excitement or the same capabilities at this point in time? And it doesn't necessarily mean that I say no to the commitment, but I may have to make certain considerations in order to keep the commitment. So then that comes to like structuring the commitment, and especially if you're doing something new, like deciding what the consistency cadence looks like. For example, like committing to this YouTube challenge for 30 days. The original challenge that inspired me to do this is actually a 100-day challenge. And 100 days felt like a bit of a stretch for me personally. And I feel like if I was already creating content here or elsewhere and maybe just not doing it as consistently as I wanted to, the 100 days might not seem like such a stretch, but I was not creating any content anywhere aside from the occasional random Instagram story. So 30 days felt a lot better to me. And that left me open, like left options open for me. I can keep going after 30 days and make a new commitment. Or if I realize that I don't enjoy this, I can quit knowing that I gave it a fair shake and not feel bad about it. I feel like I can do this for 30 days. I feel like I can do pretty much anything for 30 days. And it's enough time for me to actually figure out if I enjoy it or not. And again, if I want to quit, I can stop doing it after 30 days without feeling bad about it. If I committed to 100 days and quit after 30 because I wasn't feeling it, that just really wouldn't feel good to me and would further continue to diminish my self-trust. But reassessing after the 30 days also gives me the opportunity to make any adjustments if I do want to continue. Now that I know how it feels, how it lines up with other things going on in my life, I can make adjustments that'll continue to set me up for success. Another example is like implementing new habits, like making a reasonable goal. If you say you want to work out 5 days a week, but you're not working out any days a week now, I do think it's important to stretch ourselves, but going from working out 0 days at all and making a goal to work out 5 days is not setting yourself up for success, because when you don't hit those 5 days, you're going to feel bad about it. You're going to feel discouraged. It messes with your self trust, and then typically you quit. Now, you might not want to start at 1 or 2 days, but 1 or 2 days is still better than 0 days, right? So it's okay to have like smaller steps up to the bigger goal. When you get comfortable working out 2 days a week, then you can bump it up to 3 or 4. And eventually, following those small steps, you'll get to the 5 days. So, just something to keep in mind. Also, anticipating any obstacles or possible setbacks and making a plan for them. I know that have really low energy when I'm on my period. And I kept that in mind. I intended to pre-record some videos for those days, and I did not do them. Um, but what I also did was set, even though I was aiming for 100%, I did set a success metric of 90%, which allowed me 3 free days. That if I didn't record for 3 days, I would still consider this a success. Um, Old me would have been cashed in all 3 of those days already. Ironically, I mainly set those aside for when I was on my period, and I made it through my period actually a lot better than I thought I would. So I'm so happy that yesterday, when I wasn't feeling well, that one, I had the free days available, and I was actually very impressed with myself that I did not burn them up already. So I'm growing, you guys. Also, just having kind of, I guess, like a motivational toolkit is helpful, because you can't always rely on your mood. I definitely haven't been in the mood to film every day. And I have pushed myself to do it because this is something that's important to me. So even yesterday, when I just couldn't get going, like I said, I was tired. I didn't feel well. I still tried everything that usually works. I took a nap. I made sure I got some food. I went on a walk. I talked it out with a friend to see if that could get me going. I sat down and just started, because sometimes when I just start, I can just keep going. And none of it worked. None of the things that usually worked, which tells me that I just needed to rest, especially because I was like not feeling physically ill, you know? And having these things in place, having a plan for the bad days really helped me have grace for myself. My goal is consistency, not perfection. This is a long game for me. And even though right now I'm only challenging myself to 30 days, I might want to go longer than that. But also, the growth that is coming from me being consistent now is, like I've said before, is already like spreading to other parts of my life. So again, yes, the goal is consistency, not perfection. And the buffer days, having those built in, reinforce that. And you know what? The one day I missed does not negate the 18 days that I did in a row. And it does not mean that I can't keep going. And at some point, it'll be a meaningless blip in the radar. The point is that I feel like I could keep going. And in the past, I would beat myself up about it. I wouldn't even acknowledge the fact that I made videos and posted them 18 days in a row, and it would just spiral very quickly into like, what's the point now? I already failed, and I would stop. Like doing it this way allowed me to get the rest I needed without having 1 ounce of guilt or regret and get up today and keep going. So it's true, on day 31, I will not be able to say, hey, I posted 30 videos in the last 30 days, but I will be able to say I posted 29 videos in the last 30 days. And that actually feels great still. Like it actually feels even better to me because I was able to find a balance in caring for myself and continuing my challenge. So again, I'm going to keep encouraging you all to quit, but just give things a chance for it and give yourself a chance. Set yourself up for success in execution and set yourself up in a way that you're not going to beat yourself up if you decide that it's not for you. All right. Well, give this video a like if that helps shift your mindset about quitting, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.